Hi all, I'm Dr. Tricia Peach, host of the Kidmin.Ninja, and I'm glad you came back to visit again today. I want to talk about a bit of a controversial subject, bribery, competition, and your kids' church. This I've seen debated in the kids' ministry classes when I was in seminary. I've seen it debated online. I've seen it debated at our Kidmin classes. So let's talk about it. Maybe you're like, wait, I didn't even know this was controversial. I remember I'm very partial to Tootsie Rolls. So as I was a kid, if we memorized a scripture verse, our Sunday school teacher, who was in her 80s, she would give us a Tootsie Roll. I would be cramming that morning before we got to church because I wanted that Tootsie Roll really bad. I wanted that Tootsie Roll, and I've used Tootsie Rolls in kids' church. I eat too many of the kids' Tootsie Rolls. But that, I've heard, there's some that would say, don't do that, that's bribery, that's wrong, we don't want to do bribery or competition. I've seen pretty strong opinions on both sides. If you're new to kids' ministry, I promise you this subject will come up if it hasn't already. Is it a good idea to offer rewards to kids who bring the most visitors, that memorize a verse, that bring their Bible, that attend every week, that read the Bible at home? Well, I'm going to present to you some of the biggest objections, the reasons that I hear to not allow prizes or competition, and my response to those objections. Some of these objections I kind of agree with. Some of them I take a different stance. So buckle your seatbelt. Here we go. Number one, they would say we should not be bribing kids. Kids should not get any kind of award because they shouldn't expect a reward for things they should be doing anyway. So reading the Bible, praying every day, going to church. We don't want kids doing the right things for the wrong reasons. So we don't want them coming to church to get unhealthy snacks. That's usually the objection. My response is, I've read the science on starting new habits, because I'm all about not just praying a prayer at an altar, but helping to launch kids into a lifetime relationship with Jesus Christ. So how do we do that? We need to help instill habits for life. And you may have heard it takes 6 weeks to instill a new habit. That's not entirely true. Everybody's different. So it could be different time frames for different people for how long it will take them to create a new habit. Well, scientists have proven that both positive reinforcement and negative reinforcement help you make that new habit faster. So if you have a child that's misbehaving and they have negative consequences, and then they have positive reinforcement for the good things they do, it's going to help them make that habit a whole lot faster. So both of them are motivating. I would say the positive reinforcement's usually a little bit more motivating. If you've got a child that's acting out because they want attention, they'll even go for negative attention if that's all they can get. So I get that we don't want to bribe kids to do what they're supposed to be doing anyway, but I think about it this way. I am using positive reinforcement to help them build a habit for life. My parents did this with making our bed, vacuuming, scrubbing the bathroom. When we were kids, we would get an allowance, but we'd be docked allowance money if we didn't do our chores. Should we do our chores anyway? Yes. But did that motivate us? Yes, it did. It really motivated us, even that, our allowance each week, we've learned to tithe, we've learned to save, and we wanted that money, so we did our chores. And there were people that said, well, that's wrong, that's bribery. Well, I don't know anybody that goes to work for free. It would be great. I mean, you should work hard. The Bible talks about we should work hard. I don't work for free. I'm sure you don't either. I mean, we do volunteer our time sometimes, but there's bills to be paid. So we also have some positive reinforcement there, don't we? So I don't think we should always expect kids to do something for nothing. I have read, though, that if you use reinforcement for absolutely everything, it loses its power. So if you're offering a reward for literally everything every single time, it loses its specialness. It's not special anymore, and they'll actually lose motivation. So I find one or two things that I'm going to particularly target to help them build that habit. So for me, and I'll explain more about this in a minute, but I usually do it more for hard work. I want to reward hard work, not something that's intrinsic. Most kids have no say about when they come to church, and some kids have to be at dad's house one week, mom's house the other week. So just giving them one for showing up, I don't know about that. I do like to sometimes give them a piece of candy for memorizing a verse or bringing a friend, but I pick only one or two. I'm not giving them out for absolutely everything the whole entire time because it's going to lose its effectiveness. And in some part, bringing the friends, mom and dad have to be helping. So you have to take into account that some kids have no help. The parents are not willing to help. Many businesses have cued in on this. If you'll notice, you sign up for a free checking account on a certain day, you get a free water bottle. That's positive reinforcement. We adults do it all the time. I will go shopping on the seafood day because that day it's buy one, get one free packages of shrimp. I've got positive reinforcement. I'm gonna go for that. They are bribing you to go in the store, and it works. So the second objection I hear, rewards are not fair to kids who are disadvantaged, who may not be able to read. There are children even in, 4th and 5th grade that have certain reading disabilities, learning disabilities, can't read. Some kids have a really hard time memorizing. What if they don't own a Bible? What if they have trouble paying attention? What if they don't attend that often? Parents decide that. They can't bring friends because they're coming with an aunt who won't bring anybody else. My response is that objection does have a lot of merit to it. It is unfair to expect a child to read their Bible if they don't own a Bible. And if they're not able to read, how are they able to do that? I do print out the verse to memorize, and I hand it out to try to make it more fair. We have a supply of kids' Bibles, really good ones, really excellent kids' Bibles that we give to kids who do not have one. We have an audio Bible available for kids that can't read. So I'm trying to level the playing field as much as possible. I know life's not fair, but I'm trying to level that playing field as much as possible so that I'm giving these kids the tools to build the best habits for life. And these tools exist, why not use them? Audio Bible, hand them a Bible, print out the verse so they have it in front of them and can work on it. I offer awards, again, for things that are hard work, not necessarily intrinsic. My goal is to create kids services so amazing that the kids don't want to miss it and nag their parents to be there. I can't control whether the parents bring them or not, but I will try to make that service so amazing that the kids do not want to miss. The fourth reason that I have, I'm sorry, I skipped one. I skipped the third one. My bad. The pushback I have seen is you can't do awards or competition because the kids who don't earn a reward will be devastated. They will cry when their friend gets something that they do not. My response, I could see this argument making sense in pre-K, especially a toddler room. They can't understand the difference. They can't understand if one person gets something and one does not. That does not make sense to them. They will not get it. However, in an elementary classroom, they're all in school and they understand, the teacher handed out a piece of candy to the one that got it right. They get that. Kids are all about being fair. They learn about rewards in school. Sometimes I will have, everybody's getting the snack that day, but the person that memorized the verse gets, a piece of candy on top of that, so that everybody's getting something, but when you earned that little extra something else. I haven't had a lot of tantrums or crying. I've had kids that are like, wait, why not me? Why not me? And beg and please, please, please. And I'll hand them the verse and say, it could be you next week. But I don't give in on that because I want them to work hard and earn it. I want them to earn it. So now moving into number 4 for real. What about food allergies and sensitivities? This is a big one. What if the child does all the work that they're supposed to do? They memorize the verses, they bring their Bible, they bring a friend, whatever it is that you are trying to reinforce, but they're diabetic, allergic to gluten, red dye 40, lactose intolerant, whatever allergy that they have, like you're giving out Reese's peanut butter cups and they're allergic to peanuts. That I would say is a terrible idea to start with. But I ran into this because we had a kid go into full diabetic reaction, ate a chocolate bar. We didn't know he was diabetic. This was in the days before we put that on the check-in sheet. He knew he was diabetic. He was 11 years old. He didn't care. He was excited, and also he didn't want to be left out, and he didn't want to feel like he missed out or people were staring at him. So he ate it and passed out, high blood sugar. We had to go get his dad. It was horrible. So my opinion is you need to have alternatives for kids with dietary restrictions. So I usually have a treasure chest of prizes that include non-food items, little toys. I can buy that off Amazon, though I take out all of the noisy ones. I take all the noisy ones out, no whistles, nothing like that. So I also have things like raisins in case they're gluten-free. I have things made in a peanut-free facility. So I want to enable those kids to be able to participate as well. So if I'm offering a reward for memorizing scripture verse, that should be open to all kids that are willing to put in the work. So I have things there that they can have as well. Number 5. This is a lot of candy and prizes to buy. They'll say, I can't do this. I'm going to be, all my money, my whole budget's going to be gone just buying millions of prizes and candy. My response, to me, it is worth it, a few dollars here and there on some prizes like a bulk candy bag from Amazon. It lasts me a really, really long time. It's worth it to me to foster those lifelong great habits. My parents don't still give me allowance to make my bed, though you can, Mom. I totally take it. Hey, Mom. That ends at some point, but at that point you set the habit. Well, I will get a bulk bag of candy. I'll go get a bulk bag of candy. I don't have to do it all the time, maybe once a quarter. And it's not that much, and it's totally worth it to me to give kids a piece of candy or a small prize for something so important as I memorized scripture or I read my Bible every day. To me, I want to reinforce that. And the little prizes are a small price to pay. But that's something you'll need to weigh and think about. Number 6, I hear this one a lot. Now we have to give out rewards for everything. If we give out rewards for one thing, now we have to do it for everything. No, you don't. You can pick 1 or 2 things that you want to target. I'm not one that believes in giving out a trophy for everything. I just want to make it fair that everyone has the same chance to win or has the same chance to earn the reward, and that I don't have rewards for absolutely everything. But everyone should have a chance to earn it, and I don't give it away for absolutely everything. And I'll tell them, yeah, sometimes life isn't fair and there's not always rewards for everything, but I make it clear, these are the things that we do give out a reward for, and this is how you get it, and anybody can get it. That's what I want to make it fair. The 7th and last press back I get a lot is competition is an American thing. We should be teaching Christian cooperation, never competition. My response is that competition is a human thing. Yes, we really push that in American culture, but it is a human thing. I've seen it in many places around the world. If there's one job opening, everyone is not going to get that job. One person is going to get that one open position. And then the others have to apply for a different position, and you fight for a different position. A fight is probably too strong of a word, but I still do games during VBS and in kids' church. I will do games. I will do giving challenges where, like, we were raising boxes of mac and cheese for a homeless food drive. That was kind of fun. You would not believe the mountain of mac and cheese boxes we had. But I do try to encourage team wins, group wins, rather than one or two individuals winning everything. We all know that there's one or two kids, usually the pastor's kids. I know I'm a pastor's kid. They come in, they win absolutely everything, and nobody else wins. I do want to encourage Christian cooperation in a very competitive world. So for most of my games, like if we're doing a running game or an athletic game, not all the kids are athletic, I don't usually offer prizes for that, and I try to encourage teams. And then I will say, this team won. This team, hey, you can keep trying next time, okay? Try and cope with winning and losing, but knowing that you're still valuable. So how about you? Have you heard any of these arguments? How do you feel about offering rewards in church? I look forward to seeing how you respond. Thank you always for what you do for Jesus and his kids. And if you have a different viewpoint, please comment down below. No judgment. This is how I feel. But please let me know how you feel. Do you use prizes and rewards in kids' church? I would love to hear about it. All right. Thank you so much. See you next week on the Kidmin.Ninja.